Oh, hi, Rochelle. Okay, so I've looked over your lesson plan and have some feedback for you. I'll just be going straight down the rubric. I'm looking at each section. So starting at the top here, we have elements and presentation. This looks complete and it also looks reasonable. So you've got the text and the graphic organizer, although you're going to need to attach that graphic organizer. If you attached it, I didn't see it. I scrolled, I read the whole lesson plan at the bottom and didn't see it. And then I looked for an additional attachment. I didn't see it either. So make sure you get that included, okay, for the final. And then your new content, your prior content knowledge is reasonable and based on the because it's based on the standards, and your new content knowledge is reasonable because it's based on the standards and it's aligned with the evidence outcome you chose. So elements and presentation looks great. Desired results. I was glad to see that you drilled down to one specific evidence outcome. I think that's sometimes enough for one lesson. And your essential questions global are well done. My criteria for those is to see if those are real questions that people talk about outside of academia, and indeed I think it is. The essential questions content area are well done because they align well with your evidence outcome, and you've done explicit instruction. You've done explicit direct instruction on them in your lesson plan. Okay. Your students will be able to as well done. You have a chunk specifically from the evidence outcome. You have the word by, and then you have an observable outcome. Your students will understand as well done. In this one, you have a by clause, which is just fine, but you're not required to have those, and the students will understand, just so you know. So desired results, looking great. Okay. Assessments are looking great too. I'm not necessarily grading those too much at this point as much as I am looking for completion and alignment, and I think you meet both of those criteria. All right, so looking at your learning plan, or the second page of the rubric, I think you've done a good job at creating an engaging opening here. And by the way, your lesson plan is very fluid too. Like all the steps are included, and it's very easy for me to follow. You know how you get them from looking at a picture of the creature, and clearly they're like, I'm going to run away from him, and then you go, oh, judging on exterior. I mean, it's just beautifully done. I love it. This is a very creative differentiation that you have there, and I like that too. Because you may have some students who, who have writing disabilities or are cognitively challenged. Maybe some kiddos who just feel more comfortable doing something like that. So I appreciated seeing that. That was nicely done. Okay. Right here. So, yep, you trick them into, judging based on looks, and then they go, no, you're not supposed to do that. And this statement is so well thought through. I loved it. It seems like what you're saying is that to evaluate what a person is really like, it's important to look at what they do explicitly and also what they imply by their actions. Courtney would be so proud of you. This is a perfect use of a technique that she talks about in EDRD 340, that's moving kids from that BICS to CALPS, or that interpersonal communication to that academic language. So the kids have expressed in their own words all of these concepts, and you're uptaking their language to use some more cognitively challenging and some more academic words. This is really beautiful. I also like this kind of a thing too. Sometimes note taking is just a struggle for some kiddos. Again, very smooth transition, very nice flow to your lesson plans. And very, I'm not necessarily grading you guys in the creativity section yet. Some of you are a little more ready for that than others. But if I was grading you in the creativity section, I would give you very high marks because of how you have thought through this lesson plan. It so seamlessly braids together the evidence outcome with the text itself. So the evidence outcome being the skills mostly, right, with the text itself and with who students are. And it just comes together so fluidly. This is the kind of class, I can tell you from experience, where the bell rings and kids are like, what? Oh my God, we've been in here for an hour? Because it's just so seamless, It's just this is just beautiful, Rochelle. I really like it. Okay, so Continuing on just with things that you've done great. I like that you have some direct instruction here, how you've very carefully chosen a quote that has both an explicit and an implicit meaning in it. So demonstrate to the kids how you pull those. Then you pass out their graphic organizer and guide them through finding stuff in their first column, labeling it in their second column. And that you're not doing the work for them. You may have done the work of finding a quote for them, but you're asking them the question you want them asking themselves and making them answer. And I think that's so good because, you do this once, you do this twice, it doesn't really do anything. But over an extended period of time, when you do this for and with kids, it really demonstrates to them that you expect that they are capable and you know that they can do this and you expect them to rise to the challenge. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to walk you through how to do it, and then you're going to be able to do it. I expect you to be able to answer my questions. And that's some powerful stuff for kids. Really well done. Okay. I also was kind of glad to see that you were doing this with a partner activity too, because implicit can be a challenge sometimes, and having someone else to talk through with it can be a big help. And this is a very clear modification that you've provided right there too. That sometimes you just ask kids to do a little less work. Man, this lesson plan is fantastic. Keep it up, Rochelle. Thanks.